Oh, now we look.
and the wonderful orchestra. We really appreciate you. And just to give a heads up to Ms. Bennett, she has grown the Toledo Early College Orchestra program from 8, Ms. Bennett? 8 to how many will you have next year? 90 plus. Thank you, girls and Tyler and the other gentleman, I'm sorry. I'd like to introduce Mrs. Berman to give you some welcoming remarks.
Thank you again to Ms. Bennett and members of our symphonic orchestra. Job well done. Good evening, parents, guardians, students. It is my honor to welcome you to this year's National Honor Society induction. This evening is a celebration of many years of hard work by both our parents, our students, our faculty and staff. This isn't something that our students do all by themselves, so thank you all for all of your hard work. To our current and our newly to be inducted members of the National Honor Society, congratulations. Academic excellence does not come without sacrifice, and we appreciate your drive, your intellectual curiosity, and your constant focus on being great students, but more importantly, your focus on being great people. Your Tech family is proud of all that you have accomplished. You represent the very best of Toledo Early College, Toledo Public Schools, and of course the University of Toledo. Yes, students, we hear sometimes the stories of what happens on main campus, but I have to say that I am always uplifted to know that you outshine the traditional college students. Thank you for that. Tonight you will hear about the pillars of National Honor Society that you are expected to uphold: leadership, scholarship, service, and character. I truly hope these pillars will hold a prominent place in your lives from this day forward. These are life lessons and characteristics that will take you unspeakably far. I will leave with you a few words about character that I heard a long time ago. I try not to plagiarize, but I don't really know who to credit, so here we go. Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. Please keep that in mind as you travel through life's journey. Sometimes it will be easy, sometimes not so much. But we know that you have persevered so far, and you will continue to do great work. Again, thank you so much. Finally, to Ms. Al, we appreciate all you do to uplift our students. Your leadership, guidance, patience, and efforts make all the difference to the lives of our young people. And of course, always to our entire staff, we do appreciate all that you do for our students. Thank you again.
And before I forget, thanks to Mr. Nissen, who the district appointed to take pictures of all your juniors and seniors. He even practiced and worked hard. And also, thanks to Mr. Nissen, he helped a lot of our students with the technical difficulties they had with the human rights films that they have to create. And we always will appreciate Mr. Nissen and won't think about the day that he may not be here anymore. So let's give Mr. Nissen a round of applause. So today we're going to do something a little different. I don't have an adult keynote speaker because I really want to honor our students, and I have some former students here who are going to come up in a minute and talk to you a little bit about some of the things they're doing now in their lives and how Toledo Early College kind of helped shape them to be the person, along with their family, who they are today. But I would like to say thank you to the juniors and seniors in Honor Society, because not only do they have to do all of their schoolwork, they have so many responsibilities placed upon them. They earned their cumulative 3.0 or higher, and I also make them do a human rights film through the RFK Center for Human Rights. And the reason I do this is because I believe that our students have gifts that they can give to the world. All of the films that our students create, whether they get honorable mention, whether they make it to the top 4 or second place, they certainly are used. In a lot of the curriculum that the RFK Center puts out, they have links to our students' films. And that is a great testimony to not only Toledo Early College and our teachers, but to the families and the students, because your word, your creations are living on. And I won't cry at graduation, I say that every year, but I'm not going to this year, so remind me. But I really would like you to know that I am a judge for the national contest for the middle school. And I listen to the high school people in the other room. And after the judging, they allowed all of us to go in and see the top 15 films, and 4 of those films made it to the finals. And we'll talk a little bit about one of our groups. They made it to the top 4, and we're waiting to hear to see where they're going to place. But all of the judges, and not all of them are educators, some of them were human rights lawyers, human rights workers, they told me that our students had the most thoughtful, creative, and analytical films that they had ever seen. And it's really important to note that all of the annotated bibliographies and the Malark and the NHD and all of the science and math that they do really comes in handy when other people from outside of our little family see it. They are so impressed, and they'll say, "That's a public school in an urban district?" Yes, and we are very proud of our students. And even Carrie Kennedy, RFK's daughter, who is one of the judges for the finals, contacted me and told me that she cannot believe the depth that she saw in the films with our students. And she told me if anyone wants to be a lawyer or needs an internship and wants to come to New York, to talk to me. So I'll give you her information, but I'm not sure she'll follow through on that. But she did make the effort. So thank you for being the thoughtful students that you are, and thank you for not fighting me about doing the films. And even though you're not a cinematographer, your scripts were beautifully written, and I cried from some of what you wrote. So, okay, so I'm going to introduce some of our student speakers today. We have 3 girls who won second in the nation last year for their film, and there were over 1,000 films that were submitted. And I'm going to ask the 3 girls to come up and just talk to you a little bit about why they chose this defender and maybe how they felt when they found out they were in second place. And then they're going to talk to you about what they're doing now, and then I'm going to show their film. Now, their film is about child marriage, and I know there are some little kids here, but I don't think there's anything that they can't see. So if you want to take your child out when we show it, it's 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Just so you know. So I would like to bring up Asil, Ashley, and Laura. Come on up.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Samrani, and
Hi guys, my name is Asil.
I'm Ashley. And as Ms. Al mentioned, we are former graduates of Toledo Early College, our lovely school that we're sitting in right now. Just an up-to-date as to what we're currently doing. We're all currently enrolled in the University of Toledo. I'm an exercise science major with a concentration in pre-physician assistant studies.
Well, right now I'm gonna go into nursing. Right now I'm in pre-nursing major, just completing prerequisites for the nursing. Next semester, I only have 1 more class that's required, and then I'll be able to apply for it.
I'm majoring in early childhood education at UT.
And she's also going to write.
I was so involved in high school with a bunch of organizations, and I looked at Camp Adventure through UT, and got placed in Hawaii, so I'll be there for 3 months for the summer.
So one of the biggest lessons that I personally took outside of tech was basically just how to establish my integrity and my character on campus as well as in my personal life. So not only did tech help me establish leadership as well, but it helped me become more involved on campus, involved in my community, more so in service as well. So I can definitely say that the lessons that I've learned here will carry throughout my entire life. And it truly was a blessing to attend and graduate from this school.
I can definitely say that when I went to the school, like it seriously prepared me to T. A lot of my friends that didn't come to the school, they were absolutely clueless in like what to do, how to schedule classes, like what advisor to even talk to. So for them, like to have me as a friend, like I definitely helped them out and like the steps to like enroll in UT and stuff. But like this high school didn't just prepare me for like college, also prepared me for like life and stuff. They really like helped me go through everything that I needed, especially for my classes. So it's really like a good prep school to for like a university or a college.
Going here was not easy at first, but I definitely grew into it, and after I graduated, I was so thankful for the opportunities I had, and it just made everything easier. And I've been applying for like just jobs or programs, and they're like, "Oh, you went to where?" And I was like, "I went to Toledo Early College and graduated with 60 college credits," and everyone just looks at me like, "Oh my God." But it definitely prepared me for life, and I'm so incredibly thankful for the friends that I made and the connections with the teachers that I had.
Thank you, ladies. And these three ladies will help. They would help with anything at the last minute. They would reach out to those who were in need. And really, early college high school is not just about academics. It's about showing people that you care about them and giving back to people. And they are the three greatest examples. And I really appreciate you three being here. And now I'm going to show their second in the nation film that won last year. And then we're going to move on to the next contender for this year.
When my family tried to sell me, and actually it happened 2 times, they tried to sell me to pay for my brother's wife. In one moment, I felt all my dreams disappeared, and I was looking for a way to escape it.
Eu que tamo nessa só, me chama pra me deixar. Eu me sei quando eu tô zero, mas tá com
my friends, they get married at 15 years old. I saw them with bruises on their faces, and I started to rap to talk about that.
So you can see why they placed second, and with that said, many of our other seniors today who were juniors last year received platinum, silver, and gold mentions, and we're waiting to hear. I do know that many of our students are going to get honorable mention. So we showed the girls' video, but really you all deserve to have your video shown. And I emailed you and told me to send you the links and I would show your parents, and only one group did. So you can see me after if you want me. I can run the films after the ceremony, okay? Okay, so the next group I'm going to have come up are Nolan and Liz. Nolan and Liz did their, they chose the human rights defender who was a Holocaust survivor. And they are in the top 4 in the nation. The judges are going to meet and judge this week. So maybe they'll be first place, maybe they'll be second place. What really matters is that they qualified in the top 4. And I know that it's a sensitive issue and we are going to play their film, but they focus on the positives of their defender and what he's doing. So there isn't anything graphic. Of course, it's a solemn film, but it's not graphic. So Nolan's been practicing. He wants to tell you all about his film. So go ahead, Nolan. And Liz's film.
Okay, so Miss Alice said they have to keep it quick. She said 3 minutes, otherwise she's going to turn off the mic. But Miss Alice will be the first one to tell you and all the students that as soon as February rolls around, she'll start sending out emails and hounding all the students, and she'll say, NHS is rolling around, time to start working on your videos, pick your defender. And I think, so we were one of the groups that kind of waited till the last minute, but we really did put some work into it, and I think every one of these students sitting here can tell you just how much work goes into one of these videos and how much time it takes. They'll sit down and they watch the video over and over, looking for small details and small things to add. And I think it's really a testament to the hard work that all of our students put in at the school.
the main reason that we chose our defender was because of what we've learned in school about the Holocaust, and the main issue was that we wanted to give a voice to somebody who hasn't had their voice spoken since the Holocaust. He died recently, I think it was 2016, and so this topic has not really been talked about much since then, even though the anniversary is coming up of the Holocaust. So we really just wanted to give him a chance to have a voice in the modern age.
So there's a lot of small things, and I've been talking Miss L's ears off all week about it. But even like things down to the font is what we looked at. So the font was actually designed by a German pre-World War II who then wrote some anti-Nazi pamphlets and was actually exiled from Germany. So there's a little bit of symbolism behind everything you see in the video.
Genocide, the deliberate killing of a large group of people, especially those of a particular ethnic group or nation. In 1941, Adolf Hitler and his Nazi Party attempted to kill the Jews of Europe. Around 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust, 1.5 million of them being children. The Nazis blamed the Jews for the loss of the First World War. The Jews were claimed to be inferior and a threat to the so-called German racial community. The Holocaust was systematic, bureaucratic, state-sponsored persecution and murder. Article 5 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, "No one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhumane, or degrading treatment or punishment." Eli Wiesel was a Holocaust survivor from Romania. His mother, father, and sister all died in the camps. Wiesel was sent to Auschwitz and Buchenwald and was freed when Buchenwald was liberated in 1945. 10 years later, Wiesel wrote the book Night, describing his experience during the Holocaust for the others. It was a memory that Wiesel infused with lessons on the dangers of indifference. The book describes the experience that Wiesel had with brutal honesty, from his first day in camp when he was forever separated from his mother and sister, to the hunger, the beating of his father, the sickness, and the overall darkness encompassing these places and events. Wiesel writes it all. A horrifying and extremely moving document. In 2006, Oprah chose the book for her book club, where it then spent 80 weeks on the bestseller list. 3 million copies were sold, and Oprah traveled with Wiesel to Auschwitz.
What a place. Yeah, what a place. What a place. What is it even coming back now? Difficult?
This time I come back. I try not to speak for a day or 2 or 3. And just to go back and find the silence that was in me then. And I say to myself, how many of us did not live and simply vanished?
Now, over 6 million copies have been sold and has been translated into 30 languages. We have to be continually aware of the human capacity for evil. Wiesel moved to the United States in the 1950s, where he lectured and taught at the 92nd Street Y in Manhattan, City University of New York, and eventually moved to Boston University. In 1961, the Holocaust became more mainstream after the trial of Adolf Eichmann. This led to more survivors starting to talk about their stories. Wiesel, who died at age 87, paved the way for the future of Holocaust remembrance. He helped shape how the world remembers the Holocaust, as well as helped to shape the memory in an attempt to prevent future atrocities. Wiesel was an advocate to make sure that people knew about the Holocaust in an attempt to prevent something as horrific from happening again. With human rights abuse, with prisoners, nothing is worse for a prisoner than to feel that he or she is forgotten. Usually the tormentor, the torturer, uses that argument to break the prisoner, saying, nobody cares. Nobody cares. We need to care. Advocate groups have formed to help prevent more lives from being taken from genocide. Since the Holocaust, millions have lost their lives or been forced to flee in countries such as Cambodia, Bosnia, Rwanda, and Darfur. By joining together, we can put an end to genocide. The group United to End Genocide believes that this can be stopped by speaking up, demanding action from authorities, and stopping enablers. If a person suffers, you cannot reduce his or her suffering, but one thing you can attain is that the suffering should not become a source of human nature.
What drives you in part is to make sure that memory of the Holocaust remains what?
Remains a burning and luminous scar on our very being, now and in the end of times.
You can see, and again, many of the films that the students created were just as powerful. The scripts were beautifully done, and not all students have the technology. They don't all have the expertise to create films, but again, what the judges told me is the beauty of their writing and their scripts and their sources. A lot of the other schools from around the country did not even provide an annotated bibliography. They didn't need an annotation, but some of our kids actually had an annotated bibliography. But I think it's important that you all remember the skills that you've learned, that they're not just for academics, that they will stay with you for the rest of your lives. So I'll stop talking and we'll get going with the program. So we're gonna do a lighting of candles. I want to put the pledge up in a minute. We're gonna do a lighting of candles, and I had my 7th graders, I put all your names in a little cup, and the 7th graders pulled out some names, and these are the names of the students. Yes, Marshawn got chosen last year as well, which I just figured out, so lucky you, Marshawn. So, the candles represent character, scholarship, leadership, and service, the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. And you know, our girls, our graduates from last year, talked about character and scholarship and leadership and service. Our students here at Toledo Early College have thousands and thousands of hours of community service. When we write letters of recommendation for students, and I don't know, the kids are always hitting up Mr. Nissen and I, but the reality is this: when I look at their spreadsheet and see how many hours they actually have above and beyond their requirement is really amazing, and it's very heartfelt. And I know that a lot of you have received a lot of scholarships, seniors, and I know that the people who judge for the scholarships are just as impressed as we are. And leadership. Our students exhibit leadership the day that they step on our school grounds. They are expected to be leaders. We put the 9th and 10th graders together so the 10th graders can be leaders for the 9th graders. And it's important that you take this leadership and you continue to grow with it. You know, being a leader doesn't mean that you're the loud one. Being a leader, you can be a quiet leader. You can be a kind leader. So think about those things as you move forward in your careers in college. Scholarship. You know they're here because of their cumulative GPAs. Some of these students as freshmen probably never thought that they would ever get here. I won't make you raise your hand and tell me who, but many of you came to me and said, "Are you sure I'm in Honor Society? Are you sure I'm in?" I said, "You're in." So, and you know, I think that we have to remember that it's a struggle at the school, but there's also much joy. But these kids worked for where they are, and I'm so proud of you all. And character. I believe that Toledo Early College students have character beyond that of their peers in many of the other schools, and I believe it's because they are forced to become adults a little earlier than some of the other students. They're doing more. We expect more from them. And I am happy to say that no one over all the years that I've done National Honor Society has ever come across where we've questioned their character. So I applaud all of you. Could I please have Maria, Marshawn, Ariana, and Donovan to come on up so we can have the lighting of the candles? Marshawn, would you please light the candle for character? And you know, when these kids were freshmen, the time just flew by and it's hard to see them about to graduate. Scholarship, Maria, would you please light the candle for scholarship? Ariana, would you please light the candle for leadership? And Donovan, would you please light the candle for service? And the 7th graders did a good job of picking. I couldn't ask for a better crew to represent these 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Thank you. So now, Mrs. Berman is going to have you take the pledge with her. I have projected it for you. So she'll take you through it. Don't worry if you mess up, it's okay, you're still in.
Okay, are you ready? Students, please stand. Repeat after me, please. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school. And will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Mrs. Berman, and thank you for being part of the program. And thanks to Ms. Oxner. And you know, I was lamenting with another teacher about how when I was in high school, I never got any guidance from a counselor, and I'm not criticizing the counselors, but what our counselor has to do here at this school with all the credits and all the college, I think that we need to not take that for granted. So I appreciate Ms. Oxner being here because she should be, I think she's the first one you see and she'll be the last one on your way out when you graduate. So, okay, so kids, remember to stop when you get your certificate so Mr. Nissen can take your picture, okay? So this year, if you notice, parents who are seniors, I put all of the students together. I have not ranked them by GPA. I feel that's a little social Darwinistic, and I feel that all of these kids have earned everything that they have. So I've defied NHS, and we're putting them all together. So. Here we go. Our first Honor Society member is Siham Abutaha. Josephine Aduba. Diala El Sayouf. Kenzie Allen. Katie Behrens. Justin Bick. Sincere Blackburn. Carney. Nolan Kramer. This is the quietest crowd we've ever had, really. Malika Davis. Elizabeth Earn. Daviana Estes. Ahmed Farouzi. Emma Gall. Grace Garand. Marshawn Garrett. McKenna Gilsdorf. Hannah Helfrich. Grace Hines. Sophia Jagley. And I'd like to thank Sophia Jagley. All of the beautiful decorations that you see, Sophia and her crew and her beautiful mother, Nora, put all of this together for you. Mrs. Jagley set up all the candy out there for you, so let's give them a round of applause. Allison Jacksetic. Jay Sean Johnson. Willie Joshua. Madison Krause. Calvin Liu. Connor Lothery. Maria Machado. Cassidy McClellan. Justin McIntyre. Camden Miller. Ariana Monholland. Kayla Musgrave. Donovan O'Brien. Lita Oliver. And no, Lita's dad, it's not the French spelling. That's the last time I used Jupiter. I'll get you a new program with her name spelled properly. I'm sorry about that. And Taylin, you too. Sophia Parrish. Cassandra Petrie. Lillian Pinkelman. Brandon Portillo. Michael Quinn. Angel Quisenberry. Vivian Rabel. Kenzie Robinson. Sarah Samarani. Zoe Skeldon. Trayvon Spencer. Ruthie Steele. Ian's not here, so we're going to go to Gabrielle Thomas. Taylor with an E wedge. John Yerg. And last but never least, Kaylee Zervis. Congratulations to all of you. So before we leave for the evening, I just wanted to thank you again. I can't be more honored to be a teacher here. And I also want to remind you about our annual International Festival. Now, unfortunately, some of our students will be fasting during Ramadan. It's Friday, May 10th, and I'm sorry we had to make it Friday, May 10th. He's very upset about that. He really should be very upset about that. I have to be in DC the week before for Teacher of the Year stuff, so I apologize. Secretary of Education, and I will definitely bring our stories to them. And so I apologize to our fasting students, but we'll make sure that they get all the food to take home to break their fast. So it's Friday, May 10th. We are going around to the advisories, asking students to sign up to bring dishes of food. Of course, we're asking them to ask their parents first. But you may be getting some emails from me. Please read them. I'll say, please read. And I appreciate all of the parents who always donate. We are so lucky to have you as our support system, and Toledo Early College would not be the school it is without the parents. So students, you need to stand up and you need to thank your parents by applauding them, please.